Good evening. My name is Dave, as you heard, and I want to pose a question to all of you. Think about what happened to you today when you woke up and went through the day, people you met, phone calls you got. How many of those incidents would you consider a coincidence or an accident? Something to think about. For example, I accidentally tore my jeans. Some people do this on purpose. I used to have jeans with really holy knees in it, but my wife told me that it's not cool for a man my age to be wearing holy jeans. So she's right about 99% of the time, so I've learned just not to question her when she tells me something that I disagree with. So she hasn't seen these jeans yet, so I don't know what her reaction will be. But the point is, I have learned, I'm 60 years old, 60 and a half. My gosh, the time sure does fly. I mean, just yesterday I was 21, and now I'm 60 and a half, and that's an awful lot of wisdom for a guy my age to have, I think. I mean, I've been in business for about 40 years. I've been married almost 40 years. I've learned some things, I've experienced some things, and not to preach a religion or anything, because some would say that this philosophy of nothing happens for a reason could be, predestination or anything like that. So I don't even want to discuss religion. I'm just talking about what I've discovered during my 40 years of adulthood, and I think it's valid. I think it's more valid than anyone's opinion or anyone speaking from the education industry, from their ivory palace, who thinks they're so high mighty or read textbooks, etc. But starting from when I was 20 years old, I met this girl. We fell in love. We got married. The only problem is she was 10 years older than me. I'm 21. She's 31. She has a 5-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old daughter. She has a crazy ex-husband who goes around slicing her boyfriend's tires and stalking her. So all of my parents and my friends told me, "Are you crazy? Why are you dating this woman?" But I loved her. And every single one of them said it wasn't going to last. Well, 39 years later, I'm still married to her. So that was my first experience with everything happens for a reason, because she's changed my life. But then 19 years ago, she goes and has a stroke on me. And she's in good health. She didn't do anything to deserve the stroke. She was healthy. And so for the last 19 years, my wife hasn't been able to speak and is paralyzed on her right side. Now that sounds like a tragedy. Yet so many things have happened as a result of her having a stroke that I have to sit back and say, my gosh, would you want anything different? If you had the power to change anything, would you? And for years I would say, yes, I would have taken her to a different hospital that had a proper CAT machine, and all of those scenarios, the what ifs, the woulda, coulda, wouldas, woulda, coulda, shouldas. And after that, during the financial collapse of whatever year it was, 5 years ago, when half my money was in the stock market and half my money was in real estate, and they both melted down, and I lost everything. Because in the past, either one would melt down and the other would be okay, or vice versa, and I would still have something. But I saw my personal life savings, my retirement, just evaporate to the tune of about $1.5 million cash, just gone, just boom. I'm sure it went into somebody else's bank account, somebody richer and smarter than I am. But that would normally put a damper on somebody, and I know in 1929 a lot of people were jumping off of buildings when they had lost their life savings. In fact, it was so dangerous to walk down Wall Street, the odds of getting hit by a person jumping out of a building was greater than the odds of the person dying jumping out of the building, if that's even possible. But it is true. I know this sounds kind of crazy, and you probably won't believe it, but it is true. Today I'm a broke man because I used to have a lot of money, but I still have a business that's producing income. I still have my health. Well, I thought I had my health, which is deteriorating, but I do. I have my health, I have my happiness, I have my wife, I have my kids, I have my grandkids. I have a beautiful home I live in, which was in foreclosure because of all of that, but somehow it got saved through mortgage, what do they call that?
Modification?
Modification, thank you. It took 18 months, but it happened. So therefore, I have learned so much. I have learned that money isn't the most important thing in this world. And I'm an entrepreneur. That's a big That's a biggie for someone like me, because I was striving all my life to earn money, to make money, to invest money, to save money, to parlay that, invest some more. I was in the process of investing out of state in Nashville, bought an apartment building. It was in a slummy area, right next door to the projects, but it was also right next door to Belmont University, where the presidential debates were. It was in a transitional area. I had a developer who was going to pay me $200,000 more than I had paid for it. And if I just had 2 more weeks to go before they kept saying on the news that the second shoe was going to drop in the economy, that freaked out his tenants and caused the whole deal to go south, I would have been a very rich man today. But everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? And it did, because I've learned so much about me. I mean, you can tell a lot about a man or a woman, not when things are going great and the spouse is doing awesome and you're in great health and the kids are doing great and you just got a promotion. You can tell what somebody is made of when they're going through a divorce, when they're going through bankruptcy, when the doctor just said you have cancer and you have 3 weeks to live, whatever it is. Everyone's going through something. And money and the things that you thought were really important all of a sudden go in proper perspective. And I'm grateful for that. And I have this famous saying that I say, I wouldn't want to repeat it for millions. But no, I said it wrong. I learned, darn it, it's always hard to remember this. But you get the idea. It's basically, I wouldn't want to repeat it for millions. You'll have to read my book. I wrote it just perfectly in there. And it makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much.